Now, on this channel, I talk about tube stations quite a lot. Actually, if my viewing statistics are anything to go by, they are by far my most popular subject. A lot of tube stations have a roundel sign sticking out so the station can be seen down the street. And the question I get asked a lot is, why do some of those roundels have spikes through them? Like this one. At first I thought, well, they just do. That's not worth making a video about. But the question kept popping up in the comments. So I thought, you know what, I'll look into it. I'll see what I can find out. So yes, the signs are often mounted on a sort of pole. It looks a bit like a flagpole, but it isn't. Sometimes the pole has a finial at the top, sometimes it's a plain spike. The most recent building I've seen that incorporates it is the Cannon Street entrance to Bank, which is also the most recent addition to the Underground as a whole. Not all stations have it. This version of the roundel, with a circle and bar rather than a solid red disc, dates from 1917, but these signs have also been added to older stations, like here at Clapham Common. If you're curious, here's what the roundel looked like when it was a solid red disc for comparison. I wondered if maybe there was some significance to it. Perhaps it's a symbol. Maybe there's some secret occult meaning to it. I couldn't find anything in any of my books on underground architecture. I asked the Freemasons if it was one of their symbols. They told me to try the Illuminati. The Illuminati sent me to Bohemian Grove. At Bohemian Grove they said it was more of an Area 51 thing, and at Area 51 they held me prisoner for 16 days before admitting they didn't know what I was talking about. So that was the end of that. I asked questions online, no answer. I rechecked my books. I tried looking up spike, pole, mast, all sorts of alternative terminology. The best I've been able to find was, oddly enough, on the London Transport Museum's website. They explained that the roundel was something introduced into station architecture by Charles Holden. Well, that certainly makes sense. The roundel was registered in 1917, came into common use by 1919, and Holden started designing stations for the Underground Group in the 1920s. His first major project was the City and South London Railway's Morden extension, which is now the southern part of the Northern Line. There are tube roundels all over the place. There are the station name boards at two different levels, one for passengers sitting down, one for passengers standing up. There are stained glass roundels. There are even three-dimensional stone roundels. And of course there are roundels on spikes. And according to the London Transport Museum's website, those spikes are there to hold the roundel up. So there you go, that's the answer to the mystery. Sorry I couldn't give you a big dramatic reveal. Apparently these spikes are technically known as Venetian masts, although what a Venetian mast is, what's Venetian about it, and how it differs from a regular mast, is something I haven't been able to find out. When I Google it, I just get an etching by Whistler. So that's the answer. The poles that hold the roundels up are poles to hold the roundels up. Life can be quite disappointing sometimes. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this pointless tale from the tube. If so, please do leave a like and subscribe for more. I'd like to thank my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon and here on YouTube for your support. You are the spike to my roundel. And I'll see you all again very soon for another tale from the tube.